Hey Bookie, welcome back to my channel, girl. I'm so glad to see you again, Bookie Butt. If you're new here, my name is Dominique Session. Welcome to Mommy in the Courtroom. On this channel, we talk about crime, daily news, and of course, we got to be a little bit of messy together. It wouldn't be right if we didn't. So make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, turn those post notifications on so you can keep up when I post. Let's jump into the video today. Okay, so per the title, this is part 3 to what happened to Naziah Harris. Y'all like my little setup? First of all, hold on. As y'all know, on this channel, we do commentary. So if you don't like my commentary, baby, you know the drill. Go to the left. I don't care, because look, somebody gonna like it. Somebody gonna love it. Somebody gonna agree with me. You don't. If you don't like it, you can definitely set your own phone up and record your own video. It ain't nothing to it but to do it. You know what them old folks say. Anyways, let's jump into the topic for today. Okay, so as y'all know, we are on part 3 of what happened to Naziah Harris. Now, as you know, in part 1, we went over some people that play a part in the story. And in part 2, we also did too. So if you have not watched those 2 videos, make sure to go back, please. And thank you, and like, and interact. I appreciate it. And yeah. So this video is definitely going to be about Annette and Shannon, which are the 2 people that had it was really Annette that had guardianship over Naziah during this period of time, and Shannon was living with her mama. So technically she had some sort of guardianship over her. It just wasn't in paper, but she was definitely helping her mama raise Naziah. So Annette Harris, which is Naziah's grandmother, one of the main reasons why she is being talked about as much is because she failed her big time. She failed her big time. One of the main reasons why they are advising that Annette failed Naziah was for the fact that she allowed Jarvis around. So if you can remember, during the preliminary hearing, Annette was testifying, which is the grandmother. She was saying that Jarvis never comes inside of the house. Whenever he comes to the house to see his kids, because at that point in time, Shannon, which is Naziah's aunt, which is her daughter, Annette's daughter, was staying with Annette. And so therefore all of her kids was at the house also. So Annette was asked during the testimony, does Jarvis ever come inside of the home? She said no. As we know, that is a lie. She said that whenever Jarvis comes to the house, he just goes out, he's outside, and Shannon would go outside and see Jarvis sit in the car, they'll talk, whatever. And sometimes the kids will go outside and they just all sit outside, which we all know that's a lie, because when text messages were presented in court between Jarvis and Naziah that were found, I'm gonna give y'all the story on that. Jarvis was indicating that he had went into Naziah's room, and Naziah had texted him back and was like, don't steal none of my panties, which is disgusting. And also another indicator that Jarvis had access inside of the home was she would tell him on multiple occasions to meet her in the basement. These are text messages that were admitted into court during the preliminary hearing. Now, it's really sickening to go back on all of this and think that a grown 40-year-old plus man had a thing for a 12, 11, 13-year-old little girl at the time. It's really sick. But anyways, so during this period of time, during Annette's testimony, she was also asked, why was Naziah the only child that was not in the after-school program? So at this period of time, there were a house full of kids. It was Annette's 5, and Naziah, and I want to say one other child that was there. But I know for a fact there were at least 6 kids in that home. Every child went to after-school program but Naziah. And so she was asked, why did you pull Naziah from the program? Well, Annette's reasoning why she pulled Naziah from the after-school program was Naziah had gotten into an altercation with the little girl, and Annette decided to pull her, which we found out she was lying about that because there was a teacher, there was an after-school program teacher that had also testified in court that said that Annette told her that the reason why she had pulled Neziah from that program was because they had moved. So she got caught up in that lie by itself. They moved, but they only moved a couple of houses down. So that wasn't a reason why you pulled her from the after-school program. Now, my commentary on why I think that Annette pulled Neziah from the after-school program was because it's either one or two things. Neziah was supposed to be at that after-school program, and she was walking up to Jarvis's shop, and she got caught walking back, and Annette seen her walking back. Or it could be that she was supposed to be at the after-school program, and Jarvis was going to the after-school program going to pick her up. And the grandma like, wait a minute. And I think when he was picking her up, he was possibly bringing her home at the same time. And the grandma was like, why is Jarvis bringing you home? I think that's more of the logical one, in my opinion, on why Annette dropped her from the after-school program is because Jarvis was going up there picking her up. And the reason why I say that Jarvis was going up there picking her up was because there was during the after-school program, the after-school program teacher had also testified that Neziah told her that Jarvis was her dad. So Jarvis had came up there at one point to pick up Neziah, and Neziah told the after-school program teacher that Jarvis was her daddy, and they just let her go with him. It was a lot. 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 So that's why I think that Annette pulled Neziah from that after-school program, was because Jarvis was going up there picking her up. Now, Shannon. If we jump into Shannon, before I jump into Shannon, because Shannon pisses me off. Shannon just pisses me the F off. And she pisses me off to the T, because baby girl, you have 5 kids by a registered sex offender. Let me go back to the grandma, and then I'll jump into Shannon ass, because we can go all day on Shannon. But anyway, so on social media, there has been circulation of Neziah's home bringing up, like what was around, what, pictures in the background. There was one particular picture that's been floating around of Neziah dancing in front of a refrigerator in the kitchen, and the refrigerator had chains, literal chains on the refrigerator. Jumping into Shannon ass, Shannon made a Facebook post saying that it's okay to have chains on the refrigerator as long as the kids have access to food, which means that she said that they all have like little mini fridges in their room, which there was another video circulating around that there was like a small little, those small little mini fridges that you get from Walmart, that was in Neziah's room in the background. You can't fit much in there. And my thing is this, okay? You have chains on a refrigerator when it's not giving, there are people in the house that have some sort of eating disorder. Like, I understand if there was somebody in the house that may have some type of condition where they just eat all the time and they're not hungry for real and they just be eating. There's a such thing as that type of disorder. But from my understanding, all the kids were very healthy. It wasn't nobody in the house that had any type of eating disorder to the point where you had to literally lock the refrigerator, chained lock the refrigerator. So jumping into Shannon ass, because I can't stand Shannon. Look, I don't like her because of the fact that, for one, you had your niece voluntarily around a predator. You had multiple children by a predator. Jarvis, when Shannon first met Jarvis, when Shannon was 16 years old, Jarvis, like I said in my last previous video, Jarvis had to be in his early or his late 20s. So he had to be like at least 25, 26. Me doing the math. He told Shannon that he had a past. And I learned this information from the 7 Mile podcast that's been broadcasted, but now all of his videos were taken down. This is before he had all this. He had Shannon on the radio station before this case became as big as it is. So he had Shannon on the radio station, and 7 Mile, which is Mark, asked Shannon, why was you messing with him? Like, she said, he told me his past, he told me what happened, and I believe that everybody deserves second chances. So my opinion when it comes to Shannon is one of them bitches that think that if she got a baby by the nigga, she gonna keep him. Baby, no. Shannon bluntly said on the stand that I know every female that Jarvis messes with. You think that's cute? You seriously think that's cute? And not even saying that just because Shannon is heavy set. I know a few heavy set people that carry themselves very well. Baby, you can't tell them they can't. And I wouldn't dare tell them otherwise. But they carry themselves with confidence and knowing that they that bitch. And knowing that, baby, can't a nigga tell me shit. And I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to stamp that. I'm going to stand on that. But Shannon wasn't that type of female. From me looking at her and just getting the story gathered, Shannon had very, very low self-esteem. And don't get me wrong, Jarvis was not an unattractive man. Jarvis was handsome. He was a handsome man. But he definitely had a type when it came to females. So with Shannon definitely, she was one of them girls that think that just because I got a baby by the nigga, I'm going to keep him. Oh, you calling me about this nigga? Why you calling me about a man that's mine, that you sharing? Why is you even calling me? So that's the type of girl that in my opinion, that I think Shannon was. Now, also, when the day that Naziah went missing, Shannon says that Naziah never came home, which is true. She never came home. Now, during that time that Naziah did not come home, the grandmother, which is Annette, pulls up, and Shannon tells Annette, hey, Naziah haven't came home. This is going back to January the 9th, 2024. Naziah hasn't came home. Now, Shannon claims that she went out looking for Naziah. She claims that she circulated the area. She claims that her mother told her to wait, to not call the police. They're going to wait to go to the school in the morning. Which I think that's just ridiculous. I'm still stuck on that. It's ridiculous as hell because, baby, your daughter, your granddaughter, your niece is missing. She has not came home. And that lets you know that that home is not a home. Okay? Because this isn't the first time. This is definitely given. This is not the first time that a child hasn't came home. So they know how to play it by the book. They know if X, Y, and Z, that if that baby don't come home, we're going to go to school in the morning and say that he ran away or she ran away, and that's going to be that. Because doing some family research, Bookie, this ain't the first time somebody done ran away. And Naziah has a brother that is, at the time, he was 15 or 16, I want to say, when he ran away from home. And it's just giving me, this is the first rodeo for you guys. Sorry, not sorry. But Shannon also, okay, my phone died. But we're back. Anyways, yeah. So on the day of January 9th, back to that story, Shannon texted Jarvis and said, no Tudda, ? Tudda was a family nickname that they gave Naziah. So if sometimes they may refer to her as Naziah, sometimes they may say Tudda. You may hear that too. Tudda was her childhood nickname. And also, after Shannon had sent that text message to Jarvis saying no Tudda, he said no. Okay. My thing is this: if you knew that Naziah is normally at that shop, because per the testimonies, Naziah and Janiyah, which is Shannon's oldest daughter, is always at the shop, at the mechanic shop where Jarvis works, helping him clean up. Okay, so first of all, why do you got these little girls up there shop? Why you got these little girls at the mechanic shop helping clean up? That's my thing. But anyways, this was something that they did frequently. This wasn't nothing every once in a while, every 2-3 months. No, this is something frequently. So if you knew that Neziah had access to go to Jarvis's shop, why did you not physically drive by his shop? If you were really looking for this little girl, like you said that you were, why didn't you not drive by familiar areas? Okay, she goes to Jarvis's shop sometimes. Hey, let's stop over there. Then also, Shannon makes flyers of Neziah and decides to pass them out, and also sends a flyer over to Jarvis and told Jarvis to post this on his Facebook page. Now, Jarvis's Facebook page is currently private, so I don't know if he really posted that missing flyer of Neziah, but me personally, I don't think that he did, because Shannon knew. My opinion, my thoughts on everything is I really feel like that Shannon knew what happened to Neziah. Baby, she was messing with her baby daddy. That's what I'm getting from it. And for the people that's out there and calling Neziah fast, no. You're sick. And you need to take a deep search within yourself and take a look at your own childhood before you try to sit and say that a little 13-year-old girl was fast. No. Fast, in my opinion, is a 13-year-old little girl that is liking on a 13-year-old little boy. Not a 13-year-old little girl that has been groomed by a 40-year-old man. That's not fast. That's called grooming. That's called being molested. That's called being trained. That's what fast. That's the difference between fast and being grown and being molested and being trained and groomed. Because also, to me, what I find is very, very ironic is the fact that they were doing it right under Annette's roof. There were plenty of times where Jarvis would be in the house. There was actually a time that a birthday party had occurred. And one of the little girls, I guess all the kids was in the basement. And Jarvis had made his way down to the basement, of course. And one of the little girls that was at the party came upstairs and was crying to Shannon, because it was her baby's birthday party at the grandma's house. She came downstairs she came back upstairs from the basement and was telling Shannon that Jarvis tried to touch her inappropriately. She said whenever she was they was all downstairs playing with some puppies. And if you look on Shannon's Facebook videos, she has videos of little bitty puppies around this time that the story had came out, and they were down in the basement. So we know this little girl not lying. We know this story didn't come out of the thin air. Now, another thing that makes me think that Shannon knew what was going on was the fact that there was a time where Neziah was at the mechanic shop, supposed to be helping him clean up. And one of Shannon's daughters walked in on Neziah and Jarvis having intercourse. And how we found this out was because the daughter testified at the preliminary hearing. And of course, they couldn't show her face because she's a minor. But the attorneys for the state kind of relayed what she... Okay, so like I said, the daughter had testified in the preliminary hearing, and she said that she's seen Neziah sitting on Jarvis's private area like she was sitting on his lap. So I'm assuming she was facing forward and he was like, But yeah, this is crazy. The trial starts March the 7th. I will be covering the entire trial, okay? So make sure, like I said, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I know y'all love it over here. Just say it. I know y'all love it over here. I'm a great storyteller. But anyways, y'all, I'll see y'all next week. Bye.